appreciated. Um, Almost a perfect start last week.
Yeah, almost. It was not of course, looking at the first fixtures, especially playing Luke Litt the first game. You My goal was just to win that game, and then I had a successful night. Well, that happened, and then of course to win one extra game was even more good, even more successful. But looking back at the final, just wasn't up to par. So that's something I'm really looking to, is like, how can I do that better? But to make the final my debuts, yeah, I won't complain.
Was it really important for you to start that way, but also to get shot of the little hoodoo?
Yeah, a little bit. Of course, I think the most important part is to get over that 0 points to win your first game, especially in playing in the first for this in the first time. It's something you don't want to spend 3, 4 weeks not winning any games and then it start getting to you. So I think that was the most important part. But also, as you said, to get one over at Littler, I said it last week as well. Luke Littler is not someone you want to get, like, lose about 5 or 6 matches in a row to him, because then next time he'll be 2-0 up against you already. So you need to poke back at him a couple of times. That's what I did last week. So I think that's going to help my campaign for the rest of the next coming weeks as well.
Is that like a double psychological boost, getting rid of that hoodoo and then getting your first points? That must have been a big rush of confidence for you in one match. You sort of released yourself, and that probably gave you the impetus to go on and get to the final.
Yeah, for sure. Especially because I didn't play at my A level. I think that helped as well. That even though I didn't play at my best, I could still beat him. I could still win games in the Premier League, and that gave me so much confidence, as you said, for the semi-final as well, where I played a lot better. So yeah, I think it's especially those 2 points really helped me get my campaign started.
Is that the main important thing? I sorry to hark on about Luke again, but both the Lukes not making the final, such an unusual thing for us these days. To get those two out the way, is that such a big thing for everybody in the field? If we can contain those two, we've all got a chance.
No, not really. I think especially in the best of 11 legs, we all know we can beat each other. Of course, over the longer format, they are the two best players in the world at the moment. But over a best of 11, I think all 8 players can be as good. We can all play 6 good legs. So especially in a night like a Premier League night, it's not really about containing these two. But they didn't make the final last week, and hopefully it's going to happen many more times.
Yeah. And just finally for me, have you solved the issue of bleeding all over dartboards on your darts when you're in finals? You didn't bleed in the final this time, which was a change for you.
Yeah, it was good, right?
Have you taken steps to try and stop that, or do you not want to change the grip on your dart?
We're trying to, but it's difficult because I like so much grip on my dart, so it's difficult to try, especially when you're playing like I have been. It's difficult to change stuff, but we've been looking into it, and I think it'll be okay. But if I'm bleeding but still making finals or winning titles, then I'll take it.
On that note, thank you very much. Cheers and good
No
luck
worries,
tomorrow
mate.
night. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Gian, thank you for your time. Tomorrow night you've got Gerwyn Price in your first match. What's the mindset headed into that? Because your record's not very good. I think you've lost 8 out of 9, but your only win was last year, and it was a 6-0 whitewash.
I'll take that one. I'll do it again tomorrow then, 6-0. Now, of course, especially the first couple of times he beat me every time. And if I remember correctly, he averaged above 105 every time as well. He played phenomenal in all those games. And, especially the first couple of games I played him, I was quite intimidated by him on stage, by the way he was doing as well. And I think, I've grown so much as a player. And then I think that first win over him was really needed. I got that in Prague last year, and then afterwards we only played each other once, and which he won in the final. So that's fine. But now I know what it's like to beat him. I know what it takes to beat him. So yeah, that gave me much more confidence going into tomorrow.
What was intimidated about playing him on stage? Was it what he's done in the game and his stature? Was it, the roar he gives when he tries to hype himself up? What was it about playing Gerwyn Price that made it more difficult than, say, another opponent?
Definitely the roaring. You notice he's there on stage, and especially the first couple of times I played him. I think it was in the first year of my tour card, and yeah, every time I knew what was going to happen when I was on stage, but then when he hit a good shot or 180, then he would start roaring, and I didn't really know what to do. Should I roll back? Should I do like all kinds of stuff? And I think that what really got me out of my game in the first couple of times. But now, I've grown so much as a player, so it shouldn't be an issue anymore.
Is that something that you've ever thought about bringing into your game? And we do see emotion from times, but we see sort of Michael van Gerwen and Gerwyn Price and Luke Littler at times, when they hit a big shot, they really give it the big and they make sure that their opponent sees it as well. We see it sometimes from you in big moments, but it's quite subdued.
Yeah, you know what? No, not really. I'm not trying to bring it into my game. I just do what feels right at the moment. If I'm happy with a shot, or if I want to celebrate something, I want to like let out my emotions, then I'll do it. And if not, if I want to keep my focus, then I'll do that. It's not something I'm really thinking about. It's just, yeah, I'll do whatever feels right at that moment.
And just last one from me. How do you reflect on the two Pro Tours that we've just had? And do tournaments outside of the Premier League, do you think that will affect your tournament? Because there were two early exits. Granted, you did walk into 108 average from Justin Hood, but a lot of Premier League players pulled out. You went, but I think you only, was it one game you won or something like that? How do you
Yeah.
reflect on that?
Yeah, not very positive. I tried a couple of things with my equipment. The Pro Tools is where you can try it
Mhm.
at the moment. So it's also a bit of a learning curve and that kind of stuff to do what like playing the Pro Tools in between the Premier League, and it's not gone too well this week. But we go again, hopefully a couple of deep runs next week, and then I'll put that right. But it's one of those tournaments. 128 players in that room, and yeah, as you said, Justin Hood averaged 108. It's not much you can do in that. And the next day, I'd missed a couple of key moments against Madas Rasman. He took him, so that starts for you, and it happens. And my focus is on tomorrow night.
Thank you, Gian. Best of luck for tomorrow.
Cheers, mate.
Jan, thank you for your time. Just on last week again, in the Premier League wasn't the standards, the high standards we have seen from you recently, but you still reached the final. Were you at all concerned by that, or do you think that was just new to the Premier League, the pressure a little bit, that kind of thing?
Yeah, I think the last part of Spale, of course, everything's new. It's a massive venue, massive crowd, which I'm not used to. Of course, different kind of pressure on my shoulders. So I think it took 1 week maybe to get used to it, but to still make the finals is even something that gave me so much more confidence for the rest of the weeks that even when I'm not playing at my best level, I can still get to the final. And so, yeah, I think it's only a positive sign. It can, performance-wise, hopefully, can only get better.
When you talk about the crowd there, I think first time in Antwerp for the Premier League, 20,000 people sold out. I think Littler said that makes him even more hungry to win it for the first time. Is that something that plays on your mind when you go and not there thinking about that crowd?
Is it 20,000 people?
I think that's what I've seen.
No? Okay.
Tomorrow, 10,000.
Okay, but
10.
still, but it's a massive crowd, and of course, and being the first time here in Antwerp, and it's one of it's the quite same distance as Rotterdam for my place, so it feels like a home game as well, and it's something to be proud of that I'm part of this in the first time, and it's going to be fantastic tomorrow, and of course, it's something, and I want to be the first winner here.
Yeah, and when you talk about feels a bit like home, I remember you talking to me recently about looking forward to being more friendly with Michael van Gogh. And is he someone who has helped you in that Premier League environment when you're in the arenas?
No, not really. Of course, I can get along with Michael quite well, but still an individual sport. He'll benefit if I play worse on those nights. So he's not really someone who can help me, and he doesn't need to. I'll just figure it out on my own, and I should be okay.
Thank you for your time.
Last couple of questions, guys, because Jan's got another meeting. Well,
Hi,
meant to be now,
Jan.
doing in 5 minutes.
I just want to know, do you think you've got a psychological edge now over Luke Littler, especially having played him in the final last week?
No, not really. Of course, and Luke knows as well, especially in these kind of formats, everyone can beat each other, and he'll be maybe probably even more motivated next time he's going to play me. So it doesn't feel like you're going to edge over him. But of course, it's nice to beat him every once in a while, and that's what you need to do as well. Because if he beats you a couple of times, then it's going to be even more difficult to beat him again. So yeah, I think it's good for so far.
And with the Premier League, obviously it's a draining format. 16 weeks plus you're playing for the rest of the week as well. How do you think you're going to maintain that?
What? Sorry, the schedule?
Yeah, the schedule and playing 16 weeks, it can be draining the Premier League, and it has shown that with the other Premier League players in previous years as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Of course, but especially when it's the first time, you're just gonna enjoy all the new experience, all the new venues. I've never been to all the venues so far, so I think the first couple of years won't be as draining. But of course, if you start losing a couple of weeks in a row, then it can have an effect on your confidence. But it's going well so far, and I'm enjoying every single moment of it.
And even though you're a Dutchman, you're playing in Antwerp in Belgium. I mean, you still think you'll get the home support?
Hopefully, You know, that, I think going back to the European tour last year, especially in Antwerp, I got a lot of support. Even when I played Mike van Gerwen, the crowd was rooting for me. So I think that shows that hopefully I'll get some support as well tomorrow because looking at the way Gerwyn Price did the other day on the Pro Tours, I'll probably need it.
Good luck, Jan.
Cheers, mate.